Welcome in to Between Two Meeples. I am Armando Castaneda.
I'm Isaac Meyer.
And today we are going to just recap our 2023. I think we got a few categories that we created, and we have a few games that we want to talk about that fit that. So if that interests you, please stick with us because we're going to get into some of the categories now. Let's get into my favorite category because I love strategy games. And 2023, if not, for like most years, had some great strategy games. And I couldn't pick my favorite. So I'm just...
You cheated.
Well, I did. Well, I'm just going to talk about all three lightly. I'm not going to go in depth. I have three of them.
Three.
I do.
Okay.
I do.
Okay.
And I loved them all for different reasons. And I'm just going to go lightly. Earth is one of the three that I liked. In my mind, it's
right behind your head.
Right behind my head.
And for me, it solves a problem with like Everdell and Wingspan that like I don't like, and it's the downtime in the game. Like me having to hurry up and wait for somebody else. Like if we're playing a 3 or 4 player,
I won't play Wingspan with like more than 3 players.
Yeah,
because the downtime is brutal.
I loved the fact that every turn we are all doing something. I loved the engine building part. That no matter whatever you choose, I'm getting bonuses from it. So like it was really nice to see like simultaneous play and in an engine building game that was very similar to in what my mind would have been like your Wingspan and your Everdell. So that in that genre there, if you like those, like I think you'll really like Earth. And then Darwin's Journey had one of my favorite mechanisms of the year when it comes to a worker placement. And that's one of the reasons why I like it so much. And it's how you build up your workers and actually place them on the board. So you have like a little, on your player board, I think you have like 3 little workers, or maybe it's 4, I don't remember right off the top of my head. But you start out and you basically pull some of these little like stamps out of a bag. And then you have to like assign these stamps to these little workers, and those stamps come in like 3 different colors. I think it's green, red, and blue. And those dictate how skilled your worker can be and where it can go. So at the beginning of the game, you only have like 2 or 3 places that these guys can go.
Okay.
And then the more stamps that you're essentially putting on them, now they can go into like better places. They can go into like things that you weren't able to do at the beginning of the game. And it opens you up to like doing like more combos and like of the same thing like multiple times. So like if you want to walk, now you walk 4 or 5 times because now your guy's stronger or something like that. Because the game is very complex. It's like it's your typical Euro where you have like your tracks and you have an area where you're playing through, and so it's just your standard Euro. But it had the best worker placement that I've seen in the game for a while, and I really loved it. And then...
I want to try that one.
Yeah, I loved it. And then the other one I really love is Hegemony. This is
another one I want to try.
This is probably my favorite of the 3, but I wanted to talk the other 2 because it had things that I really enjoyed. But Hegemony is basically you're either worker class, you're middle class, you're like the government, and like you're... what are they? I don't even know. Like the executives or the people who want... I don't remember the terminology. I can't remember it. But you're one of the 4 classes, and you're just... it's like this constant push and pull throughout the game. I've only played it at 4 players. I've never played it at less than that. And at 4 players, it's just awesome because everyone at the tables, you basically, maybe I want to side with the middle class, or maybe I want to side with the state. Like you don't know where you're going to be at. You don't know what votes you're going to do. Everyone is always negotiating. Like if you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. You know what I mean? Because like, let's go try to screw the workers, because if we don't get this bill passed, then like we're going to pay out the ass. So like it's just one of these things where like you're constantly getting negotiations with everyone in there, and everyone's always looking out for themselves. But just like in real life, like sometimes I want to side with the workers, sometimes I want to side with the guy who's paying my check. You don't know where you're going to fall, and the game does a very good job of making those decisions very difficult. And then once again, it's another worker placement, but Hegemony was like by far one of my favorite games that I played this year.
Both of these are games that I've wanted to play, but haven't got around to.
I'm still trying to track down my copy, so as soon as I get one.
So as far as strategy games go, I'll talk about one because I don't know that we're going to talk about it, but a game that I really liked, if I don't have to be there for setup or tear down, is Voidfall.
Oh, yeah, we probably wouldn't. It was a good game.
I really liked it, but it's long. But the gameplay of it is really cool. I don't love that it is 4X, but it never feels worth it to fight other players.
Never.
It feels more punishing to me
Yeah.
than to just like let the Voidborn spawn again just so that I can kill them is like worth my time more than just going and fighting someone else, which to me is less fun. But so that's Voidfall. I just wanted to talk about it real quick because I did really enjoy it, but yeah.
Because we did talk to, what was it, Mind Clash? At
Yeah.
PAX Unplugged about it. And one of the things that I hate about it, is the damn miniatures. And the reason, I don't understand why they have the ship, then they have like a pedestal that you have to stick in the ass of the ship, and then that pedestal has to go into a flat part. So it's like 3 different pieces to get these miniatures out on the board, and it is the most time-consuming.
I think our first play it was like an hour and 15 minutes to get it set up and start playing. It was so brutal.
And then it keeps going down the more you play it, but it's just.
But yeah, so I'll start talking about the game that I actually put here, which is Last Light. And I kind of was thinking about it because Last Light is also 4X. And
is it?
Yeah.
Are we considering that 4X?
I think so. I don't think that you can really like there's no player elimination because they can always spawn a ship at their home sector.
That was one of the things that I had the problem with Voidfall is because you can never exterminate somebody else.
So you can't really exterminate. I mean, you can definitely wipe them off the board, and they can. It'll be, a climb to crawl back into the game if you did get all your ships wiped out. But so Last Light is basically its spiel is that what it preaches is that it gives you 4X in an hour, and I think it delivers on that better than any game I've played that has like promised a fast 4X, because either I don't feel like I'm playing a 4X at all, or the game goes 3 times as long as the box says.
Yeah,
are usually what happens. But Last Light is
quick,
almost entirely simultaneous. We're all picking a card and then we're all playing it, and the only thing that really matters timing wise is moving your ships around. And if nobody else is moving their ships around, I don't even need to wait for you, and I can start moving my ships while you guys are doing your trading or getting new cards. And there's only 6 actions you can take in the game, and they're all very well laid out on the card. I don't even really remember having to look into the rule book for anything during our very first play of this game. I understood it, and the rule book is short.
Yeah.
It's like,
you taught it in I feel like it was 10 minutes. It wasn't long.
Yeah. I've played it a few times and I've had a great time every time. I think, usually I'm not one to feel like, oh, this game needs an expansion to be great. But I do feel like after a few plays, I've kind of seen everything in the deck of technologies, and there are some that are just plain out just better than other ones. And so once you've played a few times, I feel like I'm just trying to dig for those cards that are better. And I think, having some more types of technologies could benefit the game a lot.
Best reprint.
Okay.
Yep, we had a few come out this year. We had a few big boxes come out. I don't think we're going to consider big boxes as reprints. But what was yours?
Yeah, so my favorite reprint was actually a game that I had never played.
Oh, really?
I had heard amazing things about it, and I played an early copy. Chris Yee of Dice Tower. We were at Dice Tower West. He's like, Isaac, you want to come play Raw? And I'm like, yeah, I've got my copy coming. I don't want to have to read the rule book when it gets to my house. You're going to teach me. So you got an early copy? Yeah, I'm sold. I'm there. And so, yeah, Raw is definitely my favorite bidding game. It is so just like
I don't know about favorite. I still like modern art a lot.
I've never played Modern Art.
Oh, okay.
I need to play it, but
Okay.
it's just so distilled down to just simplicity,
It is very simple.
but important at this. Like, decisions are important. When to raw, when to give up this high point chip so that I can take this stuff. Like, is this worth like all like somebody else getting the first bid, the best bid next round? And it's the decisions in it are important.
Yeah. Very strategic game when it comes to
But
bidding game.
it also is simple enough where I can play and teach it to pretty much anybody.
Yeah.
Just say, hey, get these waters and get these purple things, make them match. And they go, okay.
So, and then, well, I think the biggest thing is that they upgraded with like the wooden pieces nowadays. Like the game itself, the production quality on the upgrade on the reprint was just amazing. Because trying to play with the old cardboard, stuff, like
I've never.
It was not as fun as it is. Like feeling these big hunking chips and stuff like that, and making like the game just feels right at this point.
My brother is not like a gamer by any means, but he just, when he comes over, sometimes he will open the box and he will take out the giant wooden raw thing.
Yeah.
And he just like loves slamming on raw.
I don't understand. The thing's massive. Like
it's so unnecessary, but it's so awesome. You can. It's one of the first board game components I really feel like I can knock somebody out.
Yeah, it's well, other than like the 3-foot Cthulhu that you can get for Cthulhu May Die.
But see, now that's you have to pay separate. This comes in everybody's copy.
Sure, it's only $180.
You get a blunt weapon in your copy of Raw.
All right. The other reprint that came out this year that I loved, that I would never want to play the old version of it again. And that comes with Castles of Burgundy. It was worth every single dollar that I spent to back that Kickstarter to get everything in it, because the acrylic chips, the better, like the player mats are all like the neoprene and stuff like that. And they come with like inserts and things that keep everything together. Just everything about the game, the components, the way you store everything in the box. Just, I'm not one to like spend a whole lot of money because I'm cheap at heart, but and even through board games, like I'll even secondhand a lot of board games, but that's one game that I spent all the money on, and I still feel to this day that it was worth every penny that I spent on that thing to get it here, because the game itself just makes it that much more enjoyable to play with the nice quality. One of the things that drives me crazy about board games is when I have a cardboard player mat and I have to put cardboard pieces on top of a cardboard player mat and hope that no one hits the table, hope no one bumps a mat, hope no one does anything with it, because there's just so many things that can go wrong with that. And like, I hate spending all my time going, okay, this is okay, so they did a really good job of trying to fix all of that, making it player friendly. And more visually stunning.
I have only played the old version, so I cannot talk to the new one.
We'll have to pull it out for you.
It looks really pretty.
How frustrating is the older version? Do you not get frustrated by it? I thought you said you played it.
I only played it digitally.
Oh.
But I played it.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I've never actually played a physical copy.
Oh.
Because it's so easy digitally.
It is very easy digitally. It's one of the games that I like to play.
So, because things can't move around.
Yeah.
So I've never experienced that with that game. But I do hate that.
Where are we at? Castles of Burgundy. Best card game of 2023. I think we agree with these.
Really? We agree on this one?
Yeah, as we only put one on our list.
I think, if anything, that's you agreeing with me.
Oh, okay.
Well, I love this game, and it is called Forest Shuffle.
Yes.
It kind of reminds me of like maybe Earth a little bit.
Some of the reviews I saw come out said it was like a dumbed down version of Earth, and I don't believe that was the case.
It's kind of reminiscent. I think the theme makes it feel more like Earth than the gameplay.
I mean, is it any bit different than like changing it to like dragons or something that like what wings like?
I don't know.
Like I know
but it's like what the game is about is you're placing these tree cards, and the trees are going to get you points.
Yep.
And
Depending on the type of tree.
And then you've got like your insects that go underneath the tree. You've got your birds or butterflies or whatever that go above the tree. And then you've got your other creatures
that live
go
around them.
around the trees on the same level. And every tree can hold each of those things. And then you're getting cards that give you points for having a tree completely full. You're set collecting trees. You're getting cards that are, if you have one of these in your forest, every one of these is worth 10 points. And it just comes down to like this huge puzzle of points at the end of the game. And I do like that there's I love and I hate that there is so much math at the end.
There's
Like,
a lot.
I don't like having to do all the math, but I like that I can't look at what you're doing and know if you're beating me or not, because I hate when I'm playing a game and it's coming down to the final turns and I know I'm going to lose. And so for the last 20 minutes of a game or whatever, I'm just like, whatever, it's my turn, but there's nothing I can do.
Yeah, because I mean, the whole time we were playing, like I couldn't tell I was losing. I thought I had a chance the whole entire time. And it turns out that like some of the cards that I had weren't as powerful as I was hoping that they would be.
Turns out I had a couple that were way more powerful than I thought. I had these deers that got me like 30 points each. And I'm like,
and then I was about ready to set up for like another combo, and I was like one turn away from being able to place my final tree down. So like, because there's times where you need like 5 of something in your forest, and like I was one card away from getting like a whole bunch of points. And so it is,
and it has a cool. I like the end game trigger, which is you get these 3 winter cards, and I think this is actually probably one of my new favorite end games that I've ever had in a game like this, where you set the deck into 3 piles, and then you shuffle 2 of them into the bottom pile, and then you set one on top of that pile, and then bloop, bloop. So you know when you hit the first one, it could end at any time.
But you
don't know when, because they could be the next 2 cards.
Yeah.
And it could end immediately. Or one of them could be the bottom card. Ours was this, the bottom card.
I think that's what happened to us. Is it we hit the first one, and then we quickly hit the second one, so we thought the game was going to end. But the last one, the last winner card was the second to last.
Yeah.
So
we just like, okay, we're still playing. And then it did this weird thing where neither of us wanted to take cards because every turn was like we could end it.
I feel like I was going to put a card game on there, and I don't know if it was 2023. I think we were still talking about it. I think we got sidetracked. But sea salt and paper.
Oh, I think it became English in 2023.
Sea salt?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was by Bondix like a couple years ago in I can't remember what language it was originally, and I want to say it was in German.
Yeah, because I thought it just released in America, and that's what I was trying to figure out. And then I got sidetracked, and it never ended up on the list. But that's what I wanted to talk about for my favorite card game was Sea Salt and Pepper, because I really enjoyed because we talk about the auction games or like the betting games, and this one where you're collecting cards. It's basically a set collection game.
Mm-hmm.
You're drafting things, and the cool thing is that if you get 2 action cards, you can then play it to do something else. You can either get another turn, you can steal from your counter players, or what is it? Whoever you're playing with, and then as soon as you get 7 points, you're able to end the game one of 2 ways.
I love this system.
Yeah, and it's you can either say, what was it? I don't remember now that I'm thinking about it.
You can say last chance, stop, or last chance.
Yeah, if you say stop, then everyone gets to count their points, and then no one gets a bonus color. They get to count their bonuses, because at the end of the day, you get to count if you have 4 blues, you get an additional 4 points for having the most blues. So that's what happens when you say stop. If you go last chance, you're betting that your hand is going to be higher than anybody else at the table, and everyone else gets one last chance to try to make their hand as good as possible. And if you fulfill the bet that you actually beat everybody, then I get all of my points plus my color bonus, and then everyone else loses the value of their hand and only gets the color bonuses that they had in their turn.
I think I only have one issue with this system, and that is that there are like the shark cards that let you steal.
Oh, yeah.
And when you do last chance, you lay your hand down. And so if I was planning on stealing from you, those are, in a 2-player game, those are like null and void for me, which feels bad. But that's the only thing I don't like. I do really like the feeling of, I think I've got the best hand, so
It almost makes you want to like not call it at 7 and like try to build it up a little bit more every single time.
yeah. And it has one of my favorite things, pretty much in any game I like. I'm putting it in, well, we won't talk about that, but one of my favorite things is in a set collection game where you have these cards that if you can get all of them, you immediately win the game.
Oh, yeah, the mermaids where you get 4 mermaids.
I love that. Like, because it creates this thing of, even if it's not the best card for me, I have to take it.
Yeah.
Which means I have to spend my turn this turn taking a card that might not even be as good for me as a different card on the table. Or do I have to take this other card because I don't need the mermaid? I love the feeling that having those cards that are so powerful, what they bring to the table.
We hope you enjoyed us rambling about the games we loved in 2023.
Yeah.
We got a lot to look forward to in 2024.
Yeah, there's going to be some great games coming out.
Yeah.
From this company called Reprinted Games.
With you?
Yeah, you got one coming out here soon, right?
Yep. Expressions will be coming out in March. So it's on the water right now.
There we go. We'll have to put some links down there for everyone to come and see it. We should be doing, once you get a copy, we'll do how to play.
Yep.
So we're all ready to set up for that. But since this is already an hour long, I am Armando Castaneda. This is Between Two Meeples.
I'm Isaac Meyer, Reprinted Games.
Hopefully you have a great 2024. We are out.
Peace.